So you think you know how to fix Survivor? So do I. In today's video, we'll be exploring the ideas I have, what ideas you have, and even a special guest will throw their thoughts into the ring. We all love Survivor and we want it to succeed, but it just needs a few tweaks to create a new golden age of the show. So what are these ideas? Let's find out. Thank you for watching. If you want to watch every video I make early and even pick what videos I make, then consider joining Once Upon an Island on Patreon. The price to join starts at $3 a month and you can cancel at any time. Links in the description. With that, number 1, bring back the Survivor auction. I can't imagine many people disagreeing with this idea, which is the point. My most watched video on this channel is about the Survivor auction, and that is because it is a beloved staple of the show that ended with a controversial finish in season 30. It isn't 100% clear why the show hasn't reworked it, since the rumor mill has Jeff saying that they grew tired of people not spending money and just waiting for the advantages at the end. Well, that's not too hard to fix, at least in my opinion. Here's the idea. Just tell everyone there is an advantage hidden with one of the items being sold. Pretty simple. Every item being sold has a note attached with it, and when you get your item, you open the note and it tells you whether you got the advantage or not. Kind of like the shot in the dark. That way you encourage people buying food and the bidding wars become intense again. So let's do it, Survivor. Let's bring back the auction. Number 2, new challenges, or at least challenges we haven't seen in the past 10 seasons. Did you know Survivor 42 had literally 0 new challenges? Isn't that a bit insane? What does COVID or budget have to do with creativity? This is a suggestion I had last year too, and I will keep pushing it until Survivor just mixes it up and has fun with challenges again. Sometimes it feels like we're just going through the motions with these things. I'm amazed when I watch an older season and see challenges that are simple to make and still create interesting TV. Now, they don't always work, such as the battleship game from season 14. But with all the experimenting over the course of the show's history, surely we can bring back some interesting ones for reward challenges. Heck, even the SOS challenge from the earlier seasons gave us insight into a tribe's creativity and how they work together. I understand immunity needs to be as fair as possible to everyone, but the reward challenges should be where Survivor gets weird and just tries stuff out. Oh, and it seems like we're doing this, so let's keep doing it. Applebee's once a season is still hilarious. Number 3, bring back the theme song. Not for every single episode, mind you, only for episodes that are longer than the regular hour, which includes the premiere, merge, and finale. Though season 43 is experimenting with their second episode being an hour and a half long, so that would be an episode where I would put the theme song in it as well. For me, and I believe for many other fans, it sets the tone for the show and hypes up the audience for the story that is about to unfold on this island full of backstabbers. I know not everyone wants it, and that's why I can agree it shouldn't be in every episode. But I do think the longer episodes can spare 60 seconds for a dance party in my house. Number 4, this one is going to be from RussellMuscleTV.
Thank you so much, Once Upon an Island, for including me in this video. I think the best way to fix modern Survivor can be summed up in 2 easy words: more content. It's the editing, character development, and overall story that makes the difference between a high quality season of Survivor and a lower quality season. The perfect example of this was seen in the start of the new era with Survivor 41 and Survivor 42. The overall premise and game mechanics for both seasons were very similar, but the main difference was the editing. The editing of Survivor 42 made it a much more enjoyable final product compared to Survivor 41. The story of a season is so important, and no one understands that better than the Once Upon an Island channel. I can accept the fact that we'll probably never see longer Survivor episodes, but the perfect way to flesh out the characters and story more would be to provide the fans more content on Paramount+. It's such a win-win for everyone involved that it blows my mind that the Survivor team isn't taking full advantage of Paramount+. From a business perspective, it would encourage more people to sign up for Paramount+, which, by the way, the streaming service desperately needs a boost in popularity. But from a fan perspective, it solves a majority of the issues of modern day Survivor. It would give the show a chance to flesh out the characters in a more organic way, with more camp life moments, a larger emphasis on the social game, strategic decisions that don't turn into a weird game of telephone, including reward challenges that get cut from the regular episode, the theme song, and even the rites of passage. The secret scenes we currently get are fine, I guess, but there's so much Survivor footage being left on the cutting room floor. Anyway, if you love this idea and are looking for more Survivor content, come check out my YouTube channel and please consider subscribing to help me reach my goal of passing Russell Hanson subscribers.
Number 5, bring back the season themes. I understand why Survivor shifted to just using numbers instead of names. It makes referencing past seasons a lot easier, especially when talking with someone else. But can we have both? Themes such as brains, brawn, and beauty are fun and can be right there alongside the season number. So for example, Survivor 28, brains versus brawn versus beauty. See? Easy. If rumors are correct, Survivor 43 and 44 are just numbers, no themes. This is confusing to me when I see the logo for the season and it means nothing, like in Survivor 42. What is the maze for? This screams season twist, but no, it was just there for funsies. Give us a good David versus Goliath, heroes versus villains, fans versus favorites, blood versus water, brains versus brawn versus beauty, etc., and have the number as well. But please never bring back the generational war again. That season is just hard to rewatch for the theme alone. Number 6, simplify the twists. This suggestion came from my wife and podcasting co-host Mary, but as a casual fan, she likes twists, just as long as she can easily keep up with them. Someone has an idol? Great. Someone has an idol nullifier? Okay. 3 people have amulets and all 3 can be combined to cast an extra vote, but if one person is voted off, then the 2 remaining amulets can steal a vote, but if only one person remains, then it's a full-fledged idol, but none of these people will interact with each other till the merge since there's no tribe swap and the twist is introduced in episode 1? Yeah, that's just a bit too complicated. So let's simplify. For example, these 3 people have amulets. They are useless until only one remains, and it becomes an idol. Easy. I like twists and the casual audience likes them too, but let's keep it simple enough that I don't have to write down notes on who has what and how these twists work for me to keep up. Number 7. Use different beaches in Fiji. I said this in the unpopular opinions video since most of us want to leave Fiji, and by the way, I agree with you. If we could leave Fiji, that would be great. But I do think we need to accept that Survivor clearly is married to this country. So let's go out and explore it. Let's go to different parts of it. Fiji is so much more than the same few locations the show is using for challenges and camp life. If you have watched season 14, also in Fiji, then you will know that there is indeed variety to this location. So why not have tribal council in a cool new location, or have a few challenges somewhere we haven't seen before? Keep them simple if you need to. If we are stuck in this country, let's at least explore it a little bit. Let's see other parts of the beautiful Fiji. Number 8, no more forced sob stories. This is another suggestion from my podcasting co-host, but the forced sob stories are tiresome. The moment one starts, we're both like, oh my gosh, can we not? We have yet to see if they will make a return in seasons 43 and 44, but rewatching older seasons has me missing when something like this happened organically due to events on the show, or because someone just wanted to bring it up because that's where they were at emotionally. Though Xander saying he was a chubby middle schooler who got into shape and became successful was my favorite sob story in season 41, since it was clearly not what the show was looking for. Number 9, casting from every location. The show has got much better about this, I will admit that. With Brad being from Wyoming on season 41 and a rumored player being from Hawaii on season 43, we are now down to only 4 locations that the show has never pulled from for Survivor. Those places being Alaska, North Dakota, New Mexico, and West Virginia. John Denver says West Virginia is like heaven, so is the show not wanting to put angels on? Jokes aside, this is pretty dumb. 18 players a season means 18 different locations should be used, right? Why in season 41 do we have Shan and Liana both from Washington, D.C.? That's such a small location. Why are we pulling 2 people from there? Why does season 42 have over half of its cast hailing from the same 3 states? 50 states plus Canada and now Puerto Rico exist for us to pull from for the show, which means mathematically we should be going almost 3 seasons without ever repeating a location if you pull one person from each location in a season. Diversity matters in all ways. Now it is time to look at some of the ways you all suggested to fix Survivor. Our first one is from Dilarius and Hilarious. They say, Jeff talking like Jeff again. You know those videos compiling the times when Jeff was the king of all sarcasm? Lines like, Benry closes out the challenge with the ceremonial loser dismount like it's a Sunday picnic at the church. Or, the losers will be taken and executed. It cracks me up every time. I don't necessarily want him to go back to straight up insulting the players, but the challenge commentaries can get so boring now. Mike stumbles but gets back up. Jonathan is destroying this challenge. Lindsay on her final piece. He's not really commenting anymore. He just gives us a play by play. Basically, Snarky Jeff should come back during the challenges. Our second one is bring back the final 2. Out of the 27 final 3s, only 5 of them have had all 3 members receive votes. Those seasons being China, Philippines, San Juan del Sur, Worlds Apart, and Heroes vs. Healers vs. Hustlers. It will make Final Tribal Council less awkward since it won't be two people getting asked questions while the jury ignores the third person just sitting there. Since the Final Four Fire Making Challenge isn't going anywhere, it will make it less powerful, and someone can't idol themselves to the Final Four and win the Fire Making Challenge a la Ben. Misfit298 says, I want Survivor to feel more like an actual journey than a constant battle. 39 days was perfect in terms of pacing, and the whole people connecting with each other felt pure and natural. It's nice to feel like you have variety in terms of the cast, in terms of the challenges, in terms of all of that. It's this constant state of overthinking that makes the show what it is right now. Matt Jansen says, I would love if Survivor reverted back to the 2-tribe format. Rather than splitting the TV time amongst 3 different tribes, it would be 2 tribes, which gives us more screen time for tribal dynamics. Seasons 41 and 42 were split into 3 tribes, and I felt like we wanted more of a story into their gameplay, season 41 especially. And Matt, if you don't already know this, season 43 and 44 are going to be 3 tribes as well, so hopefully we will see 2 tribes in 45 or 46. Our next way to fix Survivor is a funny twist, though unworkable, will be to sequester each jury member separately on Ponderosa so as not to allow them to influence each other. And you know what? I agree. If we're not going to have Ponderosa videos, though I do hope they come back, then just sequester the jury. What's the point? Harry Baker says, I think survivors should make advantages, but especially idols, a lot harder to find. They should bring back clues to idols so that castaways have more of a challenge finding them. They could even put them in public like in season 15, which could cause good television. Also, Harry, it happened in season 25 as well. With how many idols there are and how easy they are to be found, oh, isn't that the truth? They lose a lot of excitement and entertainment value that Survivor seems to be trying to make up for with an oversaturation of other advantages instead. Make idols need clues to be found, and a lot of problems can be solved. Harry, have you tried taking a stroll down the walking path and looking at waist height, or eye height, or knee height, because that's where all idols are found nowadays? So I agree with you is what I'm saying. Trev Z says, casting less superfans, hear me out. Although it's really cool to see fans get to live out their dream, I just believe everyone nowadays on Survivor loves the show, which is great. We need more people who have no clue what they're doing though, as it makes for better TV. Don't completely get rid of the super fans though. People trying to figure out strategy and come up with what they think is right rather than seeing the same strategy over and over again would be a welcome change. Aaron Puma writes, something that I did say earlier, but I'm including this because I like the way they articulated it, is I would propose spicing up the challenges. They can borrow from the past or even international Survivor. They can take similar concepts and perhaps really lean into the theming. What if in last season's snake idol themed season, season 42, we got a snake themed challenge, like how in the pirate season of Pearl Islands, we got a challenge that was crossing the rigging of a pirate ship. I think this is something that is 1, fairly easy and economical to do as opposed to episode length or location changes, and 2, spices up the part of the show that they have the most control over, and that looks best for most marketing. Imagine some commercial for season 43 having a giant kraken that the contestants have to shoot a harpoon into. Aaron mentions that because the logo for season 43 has a kraken on it. That example is a little hokey, and I'm sure the challenge department can do better, but that example would still draw the kids in, and I imagine it would be fun to watch. Even if the rest of the episode with the challenge was a slog for whatever casting reason, we'd still remember the challenge. And with that, what is one way you would propose to fix Survivor? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. See you all next time.